What if your dog could follow a scent and find someone that disappeared 20 minutes ago? That's exactly what police and search and rescue dogs do, and something that I can train you to do with your pet in a field just like this. So, what is tracking? You might have heard of scent work, and often people use that to describe when a dog has been trained to find a specific scent. So, if I hid something like gun oil on my trailer, a scent work dog would search that area and find that specific scent. When they talk about man trailing, that's where the dog is air scenting and trying to find a human. But I think tracking's cooler. So rather than searching for my scent or your scent, they're actually following the disturbance left by the target. So if this grass is fresh, as I move through it, I'm crushing it. And that unique scent is what the dog is introduced to, and that's what they follow until they find their target. So where tracking differs is if someone had stolen something from the trailer, I show them where the track starts, seek on, and then my dog follows that disturbance until they find their target. Now, why train tracking? If you ask your dog what they wanted to do today, the answer would probably be tracking because it ticks so many boxes. Mental enrichment, a physical outlet, and time with you, to name a few. My name's Emma, I'm the trainer at Anglin Dog Works, and today I'm working with Thea. She's my working Cocker Spaniel, who's now 13 years old. We first started tracking when she was 11 because while she's getting older, she's still a really active, intelligent breed, and I wanted to still give her that mental enrichment, but in a lower impact way. Food drops is just one method that you can use to get started with tracking. Now, how long your track is and how far your dog has to search before they find something is a way that you can adjust the difficulty level to make it more appropriate to a beginner, but then carry on challenging your dog as they get more advanced. As I'm walking out, I'm going to be counting my steps and shuffling my feet to maximise the scent that I lay. As I get to the end, today I'm going to be doing a T-junction. So I'm going to be scuffing my feet. I'm able to see it, but the dog is able to smell it. It gives us both a really defined finish to the search. I'm going to lay 5 treats in my T-junction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then go back to my start pole. And like I said, how far that start pole is away and how many treats I leave on the route is going to be a way that I can adjust the difficulty to suit a beginner dog, where it might be every 1 to 3 footsteps, for example, or a more advanced dog. So with Thea on this 30 pace track, I'm only going to have the reward at the end. Seek on. What a good girl, super, well done. Thea at the moment is doing 4 quieter weeks because she's coming back in from lameness, which has reminded me to revisit her tracking because she's had about 9 months off. It's an incredibly mentally enriching behaviour because the part of a dog's brain that detects scent is 40 times bigger than a human's relative to their brain size. So even a short track like that gives her incredible stimulation. I found that 3 short tracks like this one is the equivalent of her second walk of the day. So as your dog progresses, not only can you do longer tracks, you can also think about bringing in more layers of complexity. For example, how long you leave the track before your dog searches it. What I'm doing now is laying a track that features a 45-degree dog leg, because initially you can wonder, are the dogs just following food? And the answer to start with is going to be yes. But the learning that happens along the process is the fastest way to the find is to stay within where the footsteps are. And then when you can really tell it's working is as you see that dog coming down a track, take a turn confidently to get to the end. If you're inspired to give this a go, what you would need is a stick and a ground pole, a harness, a long line, and a pocket full of your dog's treats. You're going to hop in and stick a pole by your left heel as a marker of where the track starts, and then shuffle to make a metre square. We call that a tracking square. Within that square of scent, you're going to lay between 10 and 20 treats, but I'd be counting them out so that you know when your dog has got them all. Bring your dog to that square, introduce them with their tracking cue, seek on, and simply let them find it. The learning that's happening at a really simple level is where there are footsteps, there are finds. And if they deviate away from the disturbance, then there's nothing at all. And that tracking square can ultimately develop into a track like you've seen Thea search today. If you want a step-by-step guide, check out my online tracking course. Not only do I teach how to get started with tracking, but also how to teach a dog to indicate on an article that they find along the track, as well as how to progress it, so either making those tracks longer or more complex. So for example, how we can use aging, wind direction and bringing cornering.